morning and welcome to Ways Breakfast. It's Friday, the perfect day to wrap up the week and start looking forward to the weekend. So, whether you're planning a well deserved break, some quality time with loved ones, or a little adventure, Friday comes with that special anticipation of what's ahead. So, as we ease into the weekend mood, let's set the tone with conversations that inspire, inform, and get you ready to make the most out of it. So, stay with us. It's going to be a great start to your weekend vibes. My name is Oluchi Omenka, and today I will be co hosting or co piloting the show with my best girl. Hi, best girl.
I take it all. I take it all. I take it all. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Oluchi. So nice to see you this
So
morning.
nice to see you too. You're looking very bright and colorful. And I'll give it to you this week. You had a memo, a plan to slay throughout from Monday to Friday. I'm going to look my best, very colorful with the hair, the clothes, the jewelry. Can you tell us what's the inspiration? Stress?
When you're trying to overcome what you're really going through, you sort of tend to...
You're masking it?
Yes, I'm trying to channel my anger or my depression, my stress into looking at my best. I feel like if I look at my best and I'm looking into the mirror, I'm like, yeah, you got it, girl.
You still got it.
Yeah, you still got it. It's not bad.
No matter where you're going.
Yes.
Cool. So what's your plan for the weekend?
My plan for the weekend is just rest. I want to rest.
You guys, I don't like asking you plan for the weekend, so I don't know what to say.
I want to rest.
You guys don't do anything other than rest?
I need to rest because almost every time, have you forgotten, every Monday I always come with, my weekend was so stressful because it's always stressful.
So after all the rest, it's still stressful. That means
because I always anticipate to rest, but at the end of the day, I don't get to rest. So I just want to settle with the fact that my hope is to rest. If the rest doesn't come, we'll talk about it on Monday. That's basically it.
Very interesting. Well, the week has been great from Monday till today. I've had very interesting conversation. If you missed any of our episodes, remember that you can always check it out at Official Upgrade TV on our YouTube page, and also check out our content on Instagram. You see us dancing and sharing and doing giveaway. Just kidding, though. So I have a riddle for you before we go ahead. We're just two on the table. Shola and God's Reach are not here with us, but you catch them on Monday. My question to you goes thus: are you ready? I want to pick your brain a bit this morning.
You cannot pick my brain.
I will pick it. So the question I have for you is this. I have no beginning. I have no end. I am always present and always will be. What am I?
I am that I am. The Father, Lord God, Jesus.
Okay, you're just weird. But honestly, if you ask me the question, I'm going to say I am that I am. Jesus Christ, Jehovah Jireh. That's the one that has no beginning and end. But the answer to this is actually time.
Who created time?
God, but direct answer,
girl. I went to
direct
the source.
Answer.
I am a person of source. I went to the source.
Let me give you this one. Let's see if you get this one. I have a neck, but no head. I have space, but no room. You can enter, but can't go inside. What am I?
My clothes.
That's actually close. That's actually close. It's a shirt, actually. Okay, smart girl.
Thank you.
All right, that's what riddle I have. I wanted to just pick your brain, and you've proven that you're a bit smart. So I'm maybe shocked.
Very smart.
Shocked. I'm shocked, but that's fine. I'll give it to you.
10.0.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, today is Friday, and Friday is our tech special. You know, on Ways Breakfast, we have a packed show for you, from politics to governance, mental health. And Friday is tech. So today we're talking tech, we're talking cybersecurity. And we have an expert guest who will be joining us. Like I said earlier, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, share the link with your friends, and be part of us. We'll take a short break now. When we return, we'll look to the headlines making waves this morning. So please stay with us. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back. Before we dive into our main topic, let's take a quick look at the headlines making waves this morning. We have updates from the Daily Trust and the Punch newspaper. Okiki would lead us with the Daily Trust.
Yes, good morning again, everybody. Going through the Daily Trust newspaper, the headline reads, Military seeks extradition as Finland jails EPA. Below that, we have Palestinians welcome ICC's arrest warrant for Netanyahu. Another story reads, Girl 13 beats classmate to death in Kogi. And the story here says, Kano government reunites 76 freed teenagers with families. The last but not the least story I'll be taking here is reps reject 6-year single term for presidents and governors. This is one thing I know that the representatives, the House of Representatives have done differently that I like. The fact that they refused to sign the 6-year single term for presidents and governors. 4 years is already enough for you to do whatever you want to do.
And the fact that many of them get to always come back second term.
The fact that you say 6 years, they're saying single term, it means that after 6 years you can't come back again unless maybe you sort of have done so much good and then they need to bring you, or the people need to bring you back. That's why they said 6 years single term.
Okay.
Yes, but I just feel like 4 years is enough.
If that's the case, I think I'll look at it differently. If it's 6 years and it's just that 6 years and you're done, you're not coming back.
I always feel like there's always an agenda. There's always an hidden agenda. If you're saying 6 years straight, what is the drive to it? Why are you saying 6 years single term? Because I feel like 4 years, rather reduce it to 3 years, 3 years. If you are going to make it a 6-year thing, you can reduce it to 3 years, 3 years. Because I believe that after your first 3 years, what you want to do is analyze what have I done in the past 3 years. You can also use that as an accountability measure that, okay, does the people agree to what I have done in the last 3 years? This is something that I need to improve on. Saying a 6-year term is like either extending problems or extending poverty or extending depression in the country. So if you're going to do anything, 3 years will allow you analyze what you have done in the past 3 years and help you to know if you want to go ahead with that same project for the next 3 years. If you look at it, most government officials and presidents don't even listen to what the general public is saying unless it's the news or basically a very popular person will say something about it, and that's when they have something to say. If we're really looking at the civilians, the grassroots level, their story never gets to that stage or to get to the president or the governor. So I feel like long 6 years is just saying that, well, I'm going to use these 6 years to embezzle as much as I want to embezzle, do whatever work I need to do.
And the truth is, if you even start on a very bad note, the impact will be felt very quickly. Before that, look at when we started, everybody's complaining about this present
and
administration.
It's just a year.
Exactly. So imagine if you come in and maybe you have good intentions, but what you met, right, is going to take a while to build. How patient can people get?
For a first-time office holder, you will never expect what you're supposed to, like what you meet.
Yes.
It's just like every job. When you start a job, yes, you have said so much about I can do this, I can work under pressure, I know Excel, I know PowerPoint, I know all these things, and then when you get into the job, you start to see that it's a different format.
There's everywhere.
Exactly. There's what is expected of you in that capacity, not necessarily what you thought you knew. So 6 years is just too much for you to fail. 3 years is enough. Let them, if they're going to do anything, let them reduce it to 3 years.
Very, very true.
Exactly.
Another story from your paper caught my attention. It says, girl 13 beats classmate to death in Kogi State. That has to be very absurd.
I think there's been a lot of videos, even on TikTok, that went with one other girl who fought with, like she had other classmates just standing there, and she fought with another girl. When she pushed the girl, she hit her head against I think an iron bench.
Okay.
It was by luck. We actually, in the video, they caught it when the girl fell, so I assumed that the girl had died. But later they said she was hospitalized, and so. But it's not a common thing that drawing violence in schools. Some other students also encourage bullying while they'll just stare. It's a Nigerian thing. When someone is being robbed or something, people will just stare and act like they are not there, they are not present. They will not report to the authorities they are supposed to report to. Their own is to video enough to post and get some views and likes online, and then people will comment, they move on with their life. So I think minus the fact that this story has gone to the front page, it happens a lot. It is underreported that bullying happens in almost every school in Nigeria, if not abroad also. So that case should be taken seriously, and more, I feel like more awareness should go into bullying in schools.
Very true. Let me take you through the Punch newspaper. The major headline reads, Anti-Tinubu comments, ACF suspends chairman as Afenifere and others back president. Tinubu inherited Buhari's economy policies. Ohaneze, M-Belt, others reply, ACF. Serial grid collapse, NEC panel to boost power generation in state. Winners get 77 million naira in Zenith Bank Tech Fair. Visiting US-based Nigerian bought 9 drugs before death, says police. Lagos street trillion naira 2025 budget prioritizes infrastructure and tourism. 21 states enroll for AFDB 850 billion naira agri scheme. Federal government and governors decide on state police next week. PDP postpones NEC meeting as North Central insists on chair. And ECPA's terror charges. Federal government presses for extradition as IPOB disowns Biafra agitator. And the only story I just want to touch very briefly is on the supposed 2025 budget for Lagos State and what it actually plans to prioritize. And it reads here that Lagos 3 trillion naira 2025 budget prioritizes infrastructure and tourism. So I really like this initiative, and the one I'm going to pick is the tourism aspect, because I've had recent conversation with people, and these are some of the facts about tourism. Tourism supports around 6% to 7% of world's workers. It represents 5% of the world GDP. Global tourism industry worth $1 trillion naira a year, and in over 150 countries, tourism is one of the 5 top export earners. Sadly, Nigeria has not been able to tap as much in that sector. I was speaking to someone who is actually a very notable figure. I'm hoping to get her, to one of our shows this coming week. So I will talk about tourism and the great potential that are there as a country, as an economy, as a nation, how we can tap out of this and ensure that, we want to build our economy, and we should be looking at different ways to which we can build our economy. Everybody's just focused on oil, agriculture, and different things, but tourism has great prospects. I think she mentioned one particular state that had their greatest revenue, almost 80% from tourism itself. And Nigeria is a blessed country. I mean, if you look through Instagram, you check some people, there's this particular man, do you know Ni Fagwimi, that always does this beautiful capturing of different states in the country.
I've heard of him, but I also follow other people who also do that.
I know him because I follow him more, and I'm like, Nigeria is really blessed and beautiful. Look at all the great things that we have. If we can encourage tourism, it will help individuals, it will help different private sectors, and more especially the economy. So that's just a bit of good news I have for you. But the money that is being pumped into it, 3 trillion naira, please, let it be used for what it should be used for. So that's all we can take for the headline stories this morning. Our topic today is cybersecurity for all, protecting yourself in a digital world. We'll be joined by an expert guest shortly, so please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Imagine the world where the voices of the youth finally get the spotlight they deserve.
Welcome to Ways Breakfast, the groundbreaking show where young minds unite together to tackle issues that truly matter.
We're flipping the script on traditional morning talk shows, and this is your chance to hear the youth speak out.
We're not just skimming headlines, we're diving deep into the heart of topics that impact us all.
From politics to governance, tech innovations, mental health, and trendy social issues.
We don't just discuss, we ignite conversations that inspire change and spark action.
Join us every morning for fresh, young, and vibrant perspectives
that empowers the next generation to make a difference.
Start your day right with Ways Breakfast, because when the youth speak, the world listens. Ways Breakfast, weekdays at 8 a.m. live on Upgrade TV. Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for staying with us. As said earlier, today is a special tech segment, and we're discussing cybersecurity for all, protecting yourself in a digital world. In today's interconnected world, technology has become an integral part of our daily lives, from social media to online banking, shopping, and even health record. So much of what we do relies on digital platforms. And while this makes life more convenient, it also opens the door to risk. Cyber criminals are constantly on the lookout for ways to exploit personal information, steal money, or disrupt systems. Cybersecurity, simply put, is a practice of protecting your digital life. It's not just for tech experts or big companies, it's for everyone. So whether you're sending emails, using social media, or paying bills online, you are part of the digital world and need to take steps to stay safe. This topic is especially important because many people assume cyber attacks only happen to large organizations or people with a lot of money. But the truth is, anyone can be a target. Something as simple as using weak passwords or clicking on the wrong link can put you at risk. The good news, protecting yourself doesn't have to be complicated. By understanding common threats like phishing, hacking, and identity theft, and learning a few basic safety habits, you can reduce your risk and navigate the digital world with confidence. Today, we'll explore how cybersecurity impacts all of us, simple steps to stay protected, and why being aware is the first line of defense in this digital age. To join our conversation is an expert guest. His name is Mr. Kehinde, a senior consultant, audit at risk and compliance in safe working, and an IT governance, risk and compliance professional with experience in carrying out management systems audit of cybersecurity frameworks and controls, cloud security frameworks, and control third party. He has developed a deep understanding of cybersecurity principles and technologies, which have since been applied in real-world settings and in supporting organizations in the implementation, facilitation, assessment, and auditing of best practice standards, frameworks, and guidelines such as the information security. Good morning, Mr. Kehinde. We're so glad to have you join us today.
Good morning, Mr. Kehinde.
Can you please unmute your mic so that we could hear you?
Oh, sorry, I was speaking to mute. Good morning, Kiki. Good morning, Oluchi. Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you for joining us. We wish you were here physically, but I mean, Zoom is still fine. We can still feel your vibe from here. So the introduction said that cybersecurity is not something that we leave for big companies or people with a lot of money. Me, I just have one small ITEL phone. What am I securing? But today, we want to ensure that the average person who is not even so tech inclined can understand the importance of this. So please help us with the basic. What does cybersecurity mean to the everyday individual, and how is it relevant to our daily lives?
Okay, thank you for that question, Oluchi. Right, I would like to bring it down, bring it back home. The concept of cybersecurity, when people hear cybersecurity, what they think about is you're talking about this robust system or sophisticated tools that safeguard organization or safeguard individual. Right. Also growing up, when we see maybe what technology-based movies or cybersecurity-related movies, you see where when somebody's pressing the keyboard, pressing the system, that's what we think cybersecurity is. No. Cybersecurity is as small as, permit me to use the word small, for lack of better words, as small as putting password on your phone, right? So just like Oluchi mentioned, you will say I'm using an itel phone, and then I do not need to be secure. No, I used to have a phone that we call touchlight phone, that we call Tonosobe, right? And then I put a password on that phone. And my friends sometimes you ask me, why do you have a password on this phone? And I'm like, oh, I have relevant contacts on that phone. If that phone gets missing, someone can pick it up and then start sending broadcast message to my contacts, right? So cybersecurity is as small as, putting passwords on your phone, putting on two-factor authentication on your devices, whether your mobile phone, your laptop, or your desktop, or your tablets, your tabs, and other devices that you have, right? Also, it's as small as knowing what to share online, knowing the kind of things you see online, knowing the kind of pictures you post online, knowing the kind of information that you dish out about it. So that's just cybersecurity, right? And then to break it into two, cyber is the internet and its constituents, right? So when we say the constituents, I'm talking about you and I, because we also make up the cyberspace. We are talking about the information we share, the platforms that we use for uh, the platform we use to also share this information, social media platform and other relevant platforms, right? And then security on the other hand is, protecting something. So cybersecurity come together is we are talking about, putting measures in place, right? Technology-based measures, physical-based measure, maybe administrative measure, family measures, also relevant measures in place to, safeguard us from threats that are applicable, threats that are prevalent in the cyber world.
So you already sort of analyzed what cyber and security means. And when Oluchi was doing an introduction, she mentioned things like as simple as passwords. And I know that Google, when you create a new account, they ask you whether they should save the password so you don't have to go back again. And even now, I think they have also upgraded to the point where they tell you that you should have 8 passwords and more in order for your account to be secured. But we also know that on the other end, you're also being watched. So it's still like I'm securing myself. Still, I don't have privacy. I don't have security. How do we now manage cases like this where you know that you might not remember your password? There are new upgrades every time. But Google still wants to help you save those passwords, but your phone is still at risk of being stolen or even tapped by a friend or a colleague or somebody who maybe is into cyber crime or cyber bullying or whatever it is, maybe to tap into your phone to get pictures or anything. How do we ensure that those cases where those apps feel like they are helping us, how do we make sure that we're actually helping ourselves first?
So the first thing, right, thank you for the question, Kiki. The first thing is awareness, right? Having an understanding of what the cyberspace is, and then the kind of security measures you can put in place, right? And then it's very, very important also to know the kind of applications we use, right? So there are businesses, there are things, there are standards, there are requirements that guides how some of these things operate. So Facebook, Twitter, and other applications, right? They have requirements that they have to follow. You see, sometimes you hear that Facebook was fined so and so $1 billion. This was fined so and so $1 billion. Why? Because they breached some of the requirements, right? So, in as much as we know that these threats are prevalent and there is nothing we can do about them, right? But there are controls that we can put in place, right? For instance, password manager that you mentioned, Google can tell you that they want to help you save your password, right? I do not like to use password managers. I have a schema for my own password for every site that I use. I use different passwords, but I have a schema for my own password, right? But however, password manager has also proven to be effective, to help you, safeguard, give you very, very good passwords. And we've heard things like have a 8 password. In fact, there's a standard now that just came out as part of the new cybersecurity framework. We are now moving to 14 length password, not just 8 again, right? So we need to have this understanding, and then we need to also be able to know the kind of information we share. If I give you my phone, if you see my LinkedIn, if you see my Snapchat, if you see other platforms that I use, if you see that they have limited images that they have access to, right? I do not give them outright access to all my images, all the pictures I have in my on my device, right? So we also need to have this understanding of the power you want to give to these applications, and then the application you are using first, the application, you do not just go and download any application, right? There's something we call supply chain attack. People can put controls or put other code to put a design inside an application, and then they're able to even monitor you. Different people will download them, and then they're able to, get into system. So awareness is the key thing. You need to be aware, right, of your own rights also to privacy, and then you need to be aware of relevant security measures that you need to put in place to safeguard yourself in the cyberspace.
Well, when you mentioned your consumer rights, I sort of laughed today because how many Nigerians or how many people actually read, even when they buy a phone, there's the manual there, the manual goes like fling and then the phone goes on.
Unbox your phone.
Sometimes they don't even remember to charge the phone. They just want to go straight to using. Google will ask you, okay, this is your rights. Nobody wants to, they just want to swipe and write accept. And then when something goes wrong, when maybe there's cyber threats on the phone or somebody has fallen victim, they now start saying, now me fuck up. Is this app that dealt with me? Is this one that dealt with me? Not knowing that they already gave rights to that app to do whatever it is that they want to do. Most apps now want to access your contact, access your messages, access your this. So it's another form of monitoring, but they will claim that they are securing you. So I like that you said awareness. But let's look at people that now use WhatsApp. People get into WhatsApp now. That's the most common thing currently. People get into your WhatsApp, like maybe a friend or a partner's WhatsApp now calls you to say, oh, there's one code, there's one meeting that's going to be happening on Zoom. I need you to click the link. Or they'll tell you, oh, there's one code now for you to be able to earn 10,000 naira or 50,000 naira bonus from MTN or from your bank. They'll tell you to call the code. Most people gullibly would give them the code and tell them, and they have access to their own WhatsApp. So I realized that the most people that they are attacking now are the most simple people. They are not going for people with money. I think you already mentioned that too. They are not going for people with money and stuff. Awareness would not get to these people because it's not enough to say, don't give anybody your password. Most of these people that fall victims are like the older generation because they are just getting used to an internet phone. So everything anybody wants to do for them, they'll willingly just pack the phone and give it to the person. Now they will fall victim. Where awareness does not work, what else can we do to ensure that these people, the normal people, don't get victimized by these cyber criminals?
Okay. Sorry to say, where awareness does not work, what we do is to create more awareness. That's what we can do, right? So, and this is to say, a few weeks ago, I wrote an article as part of the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month that is celebrated October worldwide. I wrote an article on how human behavior, how it's also influence cyber attacks, right? So if you are greedy naturally, you will get into a lot of trouble. I am someone that I do not really, even if you are making money in maybe in some business line, I don't like it. I do not want to do it, even if I see you making money there. So, right, you have to be very, very careful. My mom, I remember somebody called my mom, some time ago, and then was asking her, your bank pin, I'm calling you from your bank. I need to start some information. My mom was like, boy, you are the one in my bank. You should know all of this information, right? So it is our own responsibility to take this awareness to these people. And I can tell you for free that I think banks are doing well. The country is also trying, right, to put some of these measures in place. You see awareness, Yoruba. If you go to the Twitter space also,
yes,
you see people carrying out awareness using Yoruba language, using pidgin, so that these things can, get to all of these people, right? So it is more awareness. We have to be to do more, right? And then for these older people, we also have to educate them, right? In the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, not to say we only talk about cybersecurity in October, right? But that month we go far, we go beyond, talk to our parents, talk to our family, talk to our churches, mosques, talk to our friends, educate them on cybersecurity, cybersecurity related issue. And then we ourselves, we also need to, take cognizance of these things. On policies, most of us we are guilty. We do not read policies. You just go, you download an application, scroll, accept, right? So something happened, and then Drake sued the company. They used his face for advertisement, and then he sued the company. So when they got to the court of law, part of their privacy policy. You know, one application that came out some time ago where you can, turn yourself to somebody old. You can use that application to see how old you will be later. Yeah. So part of the policy is that the moment you use that application, they can use your image as an advertisement. And then Drake did that, and they used his face as an advertisement, and then it took them to court. But they won because it's part of their policy. You did not read the policy.
Yeah,
so yes, awareness, education. Also, we need to go beyond and then make sure these things also get to the rural areas, get to our parents, the old ones, get to the young ones also.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kehinde. We have some messages on our YouTube page, and this is for our audience. Remember that you can always ask our guest questions and be part of the conversation. So, Epic Maniac says, are Nigerian organizations investing adequately in cybersecurity tools and infrastructure to even encourage the youth? So, Mr. Kehinde, can you touch briefly on that question before I continue with mine? Should I read it again?
Okay. Yes. Yeah, I got the question. I got the question. I'll take us back to when I was in school. In my first year, I used to hate the association, the presidents, when they come into our class and they tell us you have to pay this due. I said, no, what are you guys doing? You guys are not doing anything. Then in my final year, I became the part-time president of the college. And then I knew that these guys are doing something, but it may not be visible to some of us. So this is to say that especially in the financial space, right, you see CBN coming with various requirements, various standards, various measures. We just have the amended 2022 Cybersecurity Act from 2015, right? And then you see organizations having collective resilience, coming together to put process in place to ensure that the digital space is also safe, right? The National Cybersecurity Awareness Month that I talked about also, you see various companies, various organizations coming out to educate everybody. So when it comes to technology, the country is investing heavily. We also have a cybersecurity levy, which is 0.005, I think 0.005, yes, right, for financial institutions and other relevant organizations, so that these things also, if used well, will be used to increase our critical improve and then safeguard our critical infrastructure and then safeguard the common Nigerian also.
All right, thank you very much. I'd like us to take a short break, but before we go there, I just want to say this quickly. You mentioned something very critical the other time when you were answering Okeki's question, that the common causes why people even fall prey to this is a result of greed. Human beings, Nigerians are greedy. I mean, you hear somebody send you text that you can earn 10,000 or get 50,000 naira, and you're very quick to click the link. And it's very sad that the common man and the average persons still fall prey to this trick. I feel like if a particular line has been overused, just know that it's already a trick. It's not very true. But yet we see people that are still falling. And the reason why these people can still even call and tell you, click this and get 10K, because they know that somebody clicked it yesterday and paid them. So it's still working. So let's quickly just take this question before we go on our short break. What are some underestimated, or would I say lesser known cybersecurity threat that people should be aware of? You are aware of viruses, hacking, and all of that. But let us appeal or address this and put the common man, the average person in view to also know the underestimated or lesser known cybersecurity threats.
Okay. The first one I would like to touch point on is extortion. Sextortion is not much talked about, but it is prevalent, and then it is very, very dangerous. I remember earlier this year also a boy in the United States got entangled into maybe a young boy, a very small boy, into a relationship with someone that was proclaiming himself as a woman, and then the boy sent his
I followed through that
person,
story.
and then the person was no. Yeah, the boy said no, I can't pay you anymore, and then the man told the boy, go and shoot yourself, and the boy went to one of their town square and then he shot himself. Wow. Right, so extortion is prevalent, and then you see it also in the entertainment industry. You see a lot of videos coming out. You see a lot of some of these things are coming out also. Another is where we talked about cyberbullying, right? It is also prevalent, and then we talk less about it. Kiki talked about the girl that was beating someone up, and then some of these things emanates from the media.
Yes.
Right. Let me dive into the Korean movies. Most of these Korean school movies, you will see that they preach bullying. You see different guys or different girls. There's just one girl that they hate, or there's one guy that they hate. Right. Also, some of these kids that we push out, right, also promote some of these things, and then these children or these youth, they tend to watch these things, and then it's able to get into their subconscious mind, and then we see cyberbullying all over the place. Someone cursing someone on the internet, bullying somebody on the internet. And then lastly, I would just like to touch point on what we call social engineering, which I think is one of the most dangerous threats, right? That's where phishing, smishing, vishing, and the likes come in. So this is where someone socially engineers you. There's no control you can put to this except awareness. You have to be self-aware. So this is where somebody, mess with your head. Imagine you driving as you're going to the office this morning, and I stopped you on the way, and I told you to give me your key. And then you gave me your key, and you go to the office, you told Kiki that somebody collected my car. And Kiki will be like, are you serious? That's how social engineering works. Somebody messes with another person's mental, is able to enter into another person's head using maybe influence, using trust, right? If you watch this movie, what's the name of the movie? The movie skipped to my mind. So it's a movie where a guy was able to, mess with some ladies, and he was able to, steal their money using his real face, and Tinder Swindler, yes. Tinder
Yes,
Swindler,
I've
that's the
watched
movie.
it. Yes, I remember.
All right, I'd like us to take a short break now.
True life story.
Second,
Yeah.
sorry to cut
Okay.
your flow of thoughts. I'd like us to take a short break. I like the part that we're ending, the part that we're ending with. So when we come back on the short break, we're going to start from human behaviors and how people exploit us based on psychology. So let's take a short break. When we return, we'll continue on cybersecurity and how to stay safe in a digital world.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is Two Ways Breakfast. We're discussing something very interesting and very prevalent in our society today: cybersecurity, cyber threats, and all of that. Before we went on a short break, we started talking about how these criminals exploit us using psychology, outsmarting us, playing with our mindset. And on a very lighter note, I remember watching a skit one day and they wanted to exploit this particular woman and told her, okay, we're calling from your bank. Please send us all the rubbish they always say. And the woman was like, oh, really? And started calling random numbers. So she was playing them back. And I remember how I laughed that, okay, that's good. I also remember that in my 100 level, 200 level days, there was this particular man that called one of my roommates to actually, do their rubbish. And we now put the call on speaker. The way we spoke to that person, I'm sure you will never go back to that career path again. So, of course, you see that some people have learned to outsmart them while some still fall threat to this. Our guest is still here with us, right? So I'd like you to answer, how do cyber criminals exploit human behavior, and what can we do to outsmart them?
How cyber criminals exploit human behaviors.
Yes, and how we can outsmart
right?
them.
God created us with some of these emotions, and there's nothing we can do about them, right? So to give context to the typical example I was giving, which was the Tinder swindler, what that guy did was to, he came with his, real face, and then, told them, the guy, he was very good. He had a website that shows that his dad mines gold or mines diamond, and if you check his name online, immediately that's what is going to pop up. And then this guy calls them at a later time, telling them to, can you send me so and so amount of dollars? I need to, quickly close up on something. My card is not working. And then these ladies are sending him money. Right. So it's just like my boss telling me, Kenny, can you send me so and so amount? I will send it immediately because I feel that, this man, he has this money. Maybe something is happening to his account or something. Right. So they are able to exploit, able to influence us. That is the word. They are able to influence us. They come with trust.
Yes.
First, right? By the time you trust them, they're able to influence you, and then they're able to exploit you and take things from you, right? So we have to be careful, and that's where we have to be cyber smart. We have to be aware. Number one, you do not stay on relationship with people you do not know. Right, because of the kind of field I am, I still received that kind of messages today when somebody came into my LinkedIn inbox and they came to ask me, do you want to write any professional exam? They know we write professional exams a lot in this field. Do you want to write this? We can help you do this. I just laugh at some of them because I know they are scammers. So they will want to use what you know best, who you are, right, to exploit you. So you have to be aware first, understand the person that is coming. Right. Some time ago, also, a friend of mine from school, we went to the same secondary school, just came to my DM and called my son name, Ologun. Say, who is this person? I replied the person, hello, who are you? Say, you don't know me. I said, I don't know you. I am so and so person. Sorry, I don't know you. Can you do a video call? Can you send a picture? So I was requesting for relevant evidence. So they can also use what things you have passed through, to exploit you, right? So you as a person, you need to always stay on guard, right? You need to guard your mind. You need to be conscious also. For instance, there's a threat called smishing. What they do is they send you a multimedia link or image to your device, and then they send it late at night, so that by the time you wake up in the morning, the first thing we want to pick up is our phone. For some of us that pray, maybe our Bible. And then when you pick up your phone, the next thing you just do is you just click on everything you have on your phone. You want to check every message, you want to click on, and then you download that attachment, and then you're able to get into your device. And so, but if you have it in your conscious and subconscious mind to always verify something before you do them, it is going to go a long way. And you need to understand yourself first, to the kind of person you are, and the kind of threat that you know that you are going to fall to, and then you put controls in place to mitigate those threats.
Thank you so much. I like how you have deeply analyzed all the questions that we have asked, and you have also brought your insights into the topic. Now, I want to dive straight into me as a person. What I need to do. You have mentioned awareness. You have mentioned, securing yourself and all of that stuff. Now let's look at sextortion, as you said. Most times now, these criminals will tap into your phone, get access to your pictures and videos, and then post them online. Sometimes what you thought you deleted did not even delete. For people that use iPhone, you realize that when you delete a picture, it's still going to go to your recently deleted before you can now completely delete it. In some Android phones, it goes to the recycle bin, and some people don't even know that the recycle bin exists. So those pictures are still stored away there in the recycle bin,
for 30
undeleted.
days.
Sometimes not even 30. There are some Android phones that still has it for as long as you want it to be until you decide to delete them. Now, this person steps into or gets access to your phone, puts it online, now start asking you for money. You want it to be taken down. You want this. We saw that in 2024 going head over heels, from even I think 2022, from Tiwa Savage to some TikTok influencers being thrown in the dust by videos of them doing illicit things online. Now, somebody commented, if I post before you post, you cannot get it. You cannot get me. If you start bullying me that I have a particular picture of you, I'm going to post it online, I'm going to destroy your future. And I'm like, okay, send me the picture. And you confirm that this picture is actually not what you want online, but you post first before the person. Does that handle the issue of being extorted? Or we all agree that Nigerians quickly forget, but they don't also forget. They know how to also remember when the need arises. But does doing the thing before the person does it, or when you are being threatened, does doing that thing before the person does it control the issue, or it only escalates the issue?
Okay. To tell you something very, very scary first, I think early this year also, there was an upgrade, iOS upgrade for those that are using their iPhones. The moment you install that upgrade, it brings back all the pictures you have deleted, even the one you deleted from your recycle bin.
Wow.
Do you see how scary that is? So let's say, for instance,
scary.
I have a phone. I sold that phone out, and then I have some pictures on that phone. I deleted those pictures. I cleared them from the recycle bin, and then I sold the phone out. And the person, upgraded this phone at that particular time, and the person had access to all of these images. So these things are scary. Right. What Kiki mentioned is not the solution. The world will remember you that you posted a picture of yourself that is not supposed to be out. Right. And we are going to start a family. We are going to be this. You want to be president tomorrow. You want to be this tomorrow. These things are going to come to haunt you. Now, I remember I was in a conversation some time ago, and especially the conversation of I think a lady with one of the entertainers also, where some of our personal videos were posted online. And then what I said then, people were not happy with what I said, but what I said was, first, why did you send the video to him? That's where we should start from. Why did you send the video to him? Secondly, I know it is our devices, and then it is our body, but it is very, very important also that we should understand the kind of things we want to keep on the phone. There's a control on Snapchat, I think my eyes only also. These things have databases. It is stored somewhere.
Exactly.
Right?
It's not
There
your
are
eyes
images
only.
you do not want
It's
to
your
leave
eyes
on
and many other eyes.
It's not your eyes only. Exactly.
View once.
So there are images. So as tempting that we want to take some of these pictures, it is very, very good that we stay away from them. But if these things happen, the next thing is not for you to go and post it online, right? The first thing is to go and alert the authorities, let them know about it, right? I have somebody that has been in that kind of case before, and the person came to me. I said, the first thing you should do, go and meet the authorities. After meeting the authority, meet your family, meet your pastor. The rest is history.
In a judgmental world like Nigeria, where if you go and meet the maybe the Nigerian police to report maybe sextortion, and they're like, you safe, why did you have that kind of thing on your phone? There's already this judgmental thing that you're going to get trying to talk to people. There's already this look when people are trying to talk to you, but still on, even after telling these people, and this person still goes ahead to post it. It's not only that, it's not enough that you have spoken to your family and friends and your pastor. It's also the worldwide people that are going to see that picture online. So what exactly is the solution to that kind of problem, where you know that, yes, you have alerted your close friends and family, but this video is going to go out? And then you mentioned that, why did you send it to him in the first place? A lot of people, I think in Nigeria now, a lot of people are now practicing long-distance relationship. Sometimes the man is already in Nigeria, and then he comes around, you guys get married, he goes back to hustle, and then the body no be firewood thing comes to play. Oh, I don't want to watch porn or all these things. I would rather see my wife or my partner's private body and all of that stuff. Now you have stored that on your phone. You might have even deleted it after sending it to the person, but then the database still has these pictures, and somebody who is into cybercrime might be so advanced to still be able to access those things. In the situation where that person is also being, permit me to say, sextorted, what do you tell that kind of person, knowing fully well that this person is legally married and is only separated by the partner due to circumstances?
Okay. If you are married, it is understandable, right? Let's say a man and a woman, they are married, and then maybe they even got divorced, and the husband is using that to trying to sextort the lady, maybe trying to get some information or get money from the lady. That is not going to sit well. People are going to raise that. But it is different when you are not married to someone and then you are sharing some of these things. You have to be careful about that. But these things happen. There's nothing you want to do about it.
Yeah.
And then when they happen, the best thing is I'll just give charge to the guardian at that particular time. So if it's a youth that this thing happens to, that's the best time you want to hold on to that person and then give them assurance and then stay beside them, right? Talk to them. That is not the period you want to start whipping them. Maybe you've been warning them before and then it happened. But then that's not where you want to start pointing fingers to them again. You also want to continue to educate them and then let them know that, what you have done is bad, but it's not the end of the world. You can still be who you want to be. But let them understand the consequence of what they have done, right? But that is where you show more love. The problem here again also is let me use you and I. It's not like I do it, but let me just use you and I.
Okay.
That's the problem. Because we see these things and then you are quick to go to your social media, to go to your WhatsApp status, to upload, see so and so thing. You're also sharing it. You understand? So if we do not have people that can fuel some of these things, people that will speak against these things in our society, tell me, these things will not come up again, right? When someone wants to do it, you know that these people are going to take me as someone that is not serious, right? So we also have to, educate ourselves and then make sure that we do better in this regard.
You're so right, sir. It's a full circle of blame. So let's ask this question now. What are the biggest challenges that people face in understanding and implementing basic cybersecurity practices? Because sometimes it already looks very overwhelming and complex. And in Nigeria, anything that is complex, just trust me, I'm skipping it to go to something very simple. So what are the biggest challenges that people face in understanding and implementing these simple basic cybersecurity practices?
All right. Number one is a lack of awareness. We've talked about awareness a lot of time today, right? But to bring out something under awareness is where we are showing complacency to saying this thing cannot happen to me. I am a nobody. Nobody wants to hack me. I do not have any money that people want to, get from me. No. Right. So that lack of awareness that it can be you, it can be anybody, it can be someone that is close to you, right? So that is one of the biggest challenge in cybersecurity. Another is technical, just like you mentioned it, technical complexity, especially for the older generation, where they are not able to use some of these technical controls, 2FA. We've preached 2FA a lot of time. When I hear people say, my WhatsApp has been hacked, I just feel sorry. Like, we've talked about this in a lot of time, putting these controls on your devices, right? So the technical complexity also. And then there's something, permit me to use Yoruba, there's something Yoruba called shekari me. It's another challenge where everything you are, everything you do, you want the world to know, right? You just got something, you want the world to know, you are quick to post. And sometimes we take pictures. At the background of your picture, your child's picture might be there. Maybe a critical document might be there. I will not take sometimes we don't take cognizance of those information that are the background of the picture that we take, right? So also cost too can be a problem.
All right.
To get a good antivirus, VPN, and the likes.
All right, that's very awesome. I know we're rounding up very soon. So now that we've seen the challenges, what advice would you give to someone who feels unprepared or overwhelmed by the concept of cybersecurity as we begin to wrap up the show?
Okay, the first thing I would say is data exposure minimization, right? Let's try to reduce the kind of data. I feel sorry for some parents when I check some of the social media, then you see a kid or, we are in the stay generation. So everybody has their rights, but we need to reduce the amount of data that we push out. There's something, I wrote an article some time ago called distributed information harvest, where some of these celebrities, they do it. They'll come today, they'll tell you the money God will give you is maybe the PIN number on your ATM card. You put it, blah, blah, blah. So and so thing is your date of birth. They'll come a month later. You have forgotten. But they are harvesting your information at various intervals. They'll tell you your so and so is your date of birth. These people putting that date of birth again. they'll come at another time. So and so thing is you see people putting their address and critical information about their personal identifiable information, and then you just see that somebody opened an account for you. You don't know that. You did not go to the bank. You have never, in fact, you don't like that bank, but someone opened an account for you in that bank because you have, pushed out a lot of your data out there. So we need to monitor our digital footprint, what we do, right? We also need to have constant awareness with ourselves and then within our family, right? And then let's also emulate some of these security controls that we do not need to pay for, like 2FA. On your WhatsApp, 2FA is there. On your Instagram, 2FA is there. Whatever application that you use, 2FA is there, right? Your important information also, you back them up and then we leverage relevant security tools. So those are some of the basic things that I think we can put in place to
be safe in a
protect
digital
ourselves
world.
in this era.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Kehinde. It has been a very insightful session and moment with you here. Thank you to our viewers and audience who joined us. Thank you, Okikiola Taiwo Jalukwa. I hope to see you again next week. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Like, share, and follow us on all our social media platforms. Till next week, Mondays to Friday, 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. This is Ray's Breakfast. Bye.
Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?